Hey, I'm Kelley Norton, your AZ Realty lady, and I'm a Valley native. And for those of you new to my channel, I'm also a real estate agent of over 20 years right here in the Valley. I help people that look to buy or sell homes in the Phoenix and surrounding areas. So today we are going to answer a really common question a lot of sellers ask me, and I hear them asking other people, then maybe their friends and so forth, and they say, should I get an appraisal before I sell my home? You guys, I'm going to answer that for you. Stay tuned. And in the meantime, subscribe to the channel, click the little bell, and that way you'll be notified when I put up new videos. I'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Kelley Norton, your AZ Realty lady at eXp Realty. Count on me for all things Arizona real estate.
All right. So again, if you're new to my channel, Kelley Norton, AZ Realty Lady, I help people that look to relocate to or within the Phoenix and surrounding areas. And I help people buy and sell every single day right here, Phoenix and the suburbs. So again, to answer that question, do I need to get an appraisal for my home before I sell my home? The answer is maybe. No, just kidding. No, you don't actually need to. Now, in some cases you might want to, and we'll talk about that towards the end of the video. But right now, let's talk about why you need an appraisal. Most of the time, you guys, an appraisal is really only needed if there's a finance buyer on your property and you are not going to be able to use your appraisal. It's the buyer's lender that's going to order that appraisal. So the buyer's lender is going to order the appraisal once you're already under contract. Let me ask you this question. What happens if you pay to have an appraisal, by the way, $500 to $700 on just a normal house or a condo? If it's something that's really unique and larger, you could be paying a lot more. If it's in an area that nobody wants to drive to, guess what? They're going to probably charge you more than $1,000. Here's the issue. If that appraiser gives you a value and then you put the home on the market and the buyer doesn't see that as the same value, you just wasted your money. It's buyers that determine what they're willing to pay and what a seller is willing to sell it for. That's how you come up with market value, not an appraiser. An appraiser is they're designed to be there to give a value for the property for the bank. But a lot of people think that they need an appraisal before they list their home, and you don't. Do you trust your realtor? Do you have an agent that you like? Because guys, your real estate agent and an appraiser are going to be looking at the same recent sales, also known as comparable sales, to come up with those numbers. My husband is an appraiser, so I taught him how to pull comparable sales. Like, we all look at the same numbers, right? We're all looking at the recent sales. So save yourself the money and don't go and pay, up to $1,000 or more for an appraisal when you can have your trusted real estate agent come out and show you what the sales are, and they'll also let you know what you might need to do to the home to get it ready to sell and to be able to get that market value. Maybe you don't want to fix up your house, maybe you don't want to do things around it and you want to sell it as is. An experienced real estate agent will be able to tell you kind of what your range might be to where a buyer might be willing to offer and where you might end up. Okay, so again, a real estate agent can't give you a true value for your home, but they can give you an idea of where buyers have been purchasing in your area. So let's go back to the beginning where I was talking about situations you might need or want an appraisal. People need an appraisal when perhaps there's been a death in the family, it's going to be an estate sale, or they're selling it to a family member. Then you're going to probably need an independent appraisal. I've also seen where in divorce situations you need to have an appraisal because one party wants to buy out the other party. So these are situations where you might need an appraisal, and in that case, again, feel free to rely on me for all of your real estate needs, or even if you need like a landscaper, a roofer, you can always call me for any of those things. But my husband's an appraiser and he can do that independent appraisal for you if you need it. Another situation where an appraisal might be needed is if the property is really weird. So let's say you have a ton of acreage and there's not really a house on it. There's just like a shed on it. And there's nothing to compare around the area. Sometimes an appraisal might be needed. Now, there's a lot of appraisers that are like, stay away from that. That is crazy. That's, too difficult. But you just gotta make some calls. And again, reach out to me, no problem. But if there's not much to compare it to, it's gonna be really hard to know what to list it at. I can still give you guidance on where we might want to list it at, because there's things that I can look at. I can look at the land, the size of the land, what like a vacant acre or 10 acre, 20 acre, whatever it is. I can look at that vacant land and get a feel for what that sells for. And then we can see if there's any value for the structure on it. One thing that you have to remember is sometimes when you have a structure on the property, sometimes there's zero value and it actually costs more to knock it down than it does to just have raw land. So these are things that I take into account if I am helping you come up with a list price for land. So, or any lot, really. We have to look at what's on there, what the property is. So again, there's a lot of different variables that we look at, but hopefully that gives you an understanding of whether or not you need to have an appraisal before you sell your home. My answer is most of the time, absolutely you do not. Save the money, and if you have a real estate agent that you trust, you want to rely on them. So hopefully I can be that for you. Again, I'm Kelley Norton, the AZ Realty Lady. And again, remember, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. And guys, if you're watching on your television, it's my understanding that you can't click the bell or you can't subscribe from your TV. A lot of my viewers watch from their television, and so they've told me that they can't click. So when you get a chance, get to your computer, click on it. That way you will be notified when I put up new videos. All right, take care. Have an awesome day, guys. Bye.